and welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're actually crushing it thanks to you. So hit subscribe, comment, watch, and share with your friends because, again, the stupidity, it's not stopping. You know, in my Substack of this morning, which is entitled Trump's Dress Rehearsal for Tyranny, I begin by saying, let's not kid ourselves. When Donald Trump says he's made a great decision, remember everything with Trump is great, you better start worrying because it's never great for democracy, the Constitution, or anyone not wearing a MAGA hat and carrying a Trump Bible that they've never read. And I say that because Trump and his pundits, they want you to believe that the entire city of LA is on fire. And this couldn't be further from the truth. I want to show you a clip from Sunday of the peaceful protests that were taking place in LA. Play the clip. I don't know. Doesn't look like a riot to me. This is what the scene looks like after Trump deployed the National Guards. Play that clip.
He's onto it. The FBI director's onto it. The DHS director's onto it.
Yeah, we've got some action here, Aaron. Apologize. I want to go back to Bill Malugin. He's live there. He and Tommy Chu is his photographer. Bill, what are you seeing? Because we're seeing a lot.
Hey, Trace. Well, this new, random, massive group of protesters just showed up here. Hundreds upon hundreds of them. We're walking behind them.
Yeah, I mean, this is insane. And this morning at 8:30 a.m., Trump posted a rant about LA on, of course, Truth Social. Let me show you what he says. In it, he turns around and he says, if I didn't send in the troops to Los Angeles the last 3 nights, that once beautiful and great city would be burning to the ground right now, much like 25,000 houses burned to the ground in LA due to an incompetent governor and mayor. Incidentally, the much more difficult, time-consuming, and stringent federal permitting process is virtually complete on these houses, while the easy and simple city and state permits are disastrously bungled up and way behind schedule. They are a total mess and will be for a long time. People want to rebuild their houses. Call your incompetent governor and mayor. The federal permitting is done. Look, I'm not even really sure what to say other than the way I started off this episode. What he's doing is he's playing strongman and he's lying to the American people. Trump also posted last night about the phrase, if they spit, we hit. Let me show you what he says there. In it, he turns around and writes, if they spit, we will hit. This is a statement from the President of the United States concerning the catastrophic Gavin Newsom-inspired riots going on in Los Angeles. The insurrectionists have a tendency to spit in the face of the National Guardsmen/women and others. These patriots are told to accept this, if just the way life runs, but not in the Trump administration. If they spit, we will hit, and I promise you they will be hit harder than they have ever been hit before. Such disrespect will not be tolerated. Right. Meanwhile, that's coming from a guy who pardoned 1,600 January 6th insurrectionists that didn't spit necessarily in the face of our law enforcement. No, they shot him in the face with bear spray, hit him in the head with clubs and metal pipes, tried to grab some officers' guns to shoot them with it, or ramming their head in between gates. Sure, if they spit, we will hit. Meanwhile, there's a military equipment driving right now into D.C. as well as late last night. I mean, take a look at this. Tanks. And Trump has literally started to put up fencing in D.C. in preparation for his military parade this weekend. Look, let me be clear. The protests, they've spread. They spread to cities like San Francisco and Austin, Texas. Let me show you a clip from Dallas where things have escalated like they've escalated in LA. Play the clip.
down from any of these cases. In fact, Homeland Security Secretary tonight on Fox saying they're going to arrest and charge protesters who are assaulting officers. So this is happening in real time, and it is the clash also, Caitlin, of immigration and law and order, two of the main issues of President Trump, all coalescing in this moment as people protest the methods of this administration.
And I also want to show what's happening in Austin. This is what's happening in Dallas. We also have similar scenes that are playing out, protests that are underway in Austin right now. Elliot, when you look at what's happening in Dallas there, I want to go back to that image that we were just showing. Obviously, things seem to be heating up there as you're looking at this scene right now in Dallas where they are clashing with the officers. A lot of people are looking at this, and what I asked to Tom Homan was, is this going to be the new normal going forward in terms of more National Guard being deployed to other cities as well?
Well, and it all depends, quite frankly, Caitlin, on what happens with the legal challenges to this implementation of the National Guard. Now, look, there are circumstances where the president can federalize National Guard. Now, there are obviously...
Yeah. Now, last night, Gavin Newsom, he posted on X about reports that Trump was sending 2,000 more guards to Los Angeles. Let me show you what he wrote. In it, he turns around and he says, I was just informed Trump is deploying another 2,000 guard troops to LA. The first 2,000 given no food or water. Only approximately 300 are deployed. The rest are sitting unused in federal buildings without orders. This isn't about public safety. It's about stroking a dangerous president's ego. This is reckless, pointless, and disrespectful to our troops. Now, early in the day, Pete Hegseth had posted on X saying that Marines were now going to be deployed. Let me show you what he says. In it, he says, due to increased threats to federal law enforcement officers and federal buildings, approximately 700 active duty U.S. Marines from Camp Pendleton are being deployed to Los Angeles to restore order. We have an obligation to defend federal law enforcement officers, even if Gavin Newsom will not. Now, look, let me go on to say this, that the LAPD, they responded basically saying that they didn't want the Marines to come. Let me show you what they said. In it, they turn around. This is their news release. The LAPD has not received any formal notification that the Marines will be arriving in Los Angeles. However, the possible arrival of federal military forces in Los Angeles, absent clear coordination, presents a significant logistical and operational challenge for those of us charged with safeguarding the city. The Los Angeles Police Department, alongside our mutual aid partners, have decades of experience managing large-scale public demonstrations, and we remain confident in our ability to do so professionally and effectively. That said, our top priority is the safety of both the public and the officers on the ground. We are urging open and continuous lines of communication between all agencies to prevent confusion, avoid escalation, and ensure a coordinated, lawful, and orderly response during this critical time. And this is coming from Chief Jim McDonnell of the Los Angeles Police Department. Now, let me say this, that Gavin Newsom, he also posted that the Marine deployment was completely unnecessary. Let me show you what he now says. He says, U.S. Marines have served honorably across multiple wars in defense of democracy. They are heroes. They shouldn't be deployed on American soil facing their own countrymen to fulfill the deranged fantasy of a dictatorial president. This is un-American. Now, this morning, the Assistant Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security was on CNN, where she was asked about the case law on who can deploy the Marines. Play that clip.
Finally, again, Section 12406 says that orders for these purposes shall be issued through the governors of the states. Were these orders issued through Governor Gavin Newsom?
They're issued by the President of the United States, who saw that our ICE enforcement officers, that our law enforcement were being pummeled by rocks. They were being attacked, Molotov cocktails being thrown at them, American cities, Los Angeles citizens being put at risk. That's real leadership to actually put more resources on the ground to make sure that things don't spiral farther out of control and no lives are lost.
All right, Tricia McLaughlin,
Assistant Secretary of the DHS, legitimately looks like she finished college yesterday. Now, I want to end on a clip of Gavin Newsom's message for Trump while he was speaking with my co-host on Political Beatdown, my friend Ben Meiselas of Midas Touch. Play that clip.
What would be your message to him right now this evening?
Stand back, rescind this absurd, illegal, and immoral order. Let our military go home. The absurdity of threatening the people of the United States of America with their own military, our proud military, these remarkable men and women in uniform that do heroic work. Really proud of our Marines. I feel for them right now. I feel for our National Guard to be there in the fact that we had to send the PD, our local PD, to protect our own National Guard because they're being used as pawns. Mr. President, show some decency. Show some humanity. More importantly, act like the commander-in-chief. If you want to be president, you might as well play the part as president. At least fake it. Do the right thing. Stand back, and we'll clean up your mess.
Yeah, let me say this. I wrote in my Substack that's out today. What we witnessed wasn't a strongman reacting to chaos. No. It's a wannabe authoritarian manufacturing it. Then using the power of the state to flex on the public, the press, and anyone else who might dare challenge him. This is, by the way, what he promised on the campaign trail. More power to the executive branch, less oversight, fewer checks, no balances. He called it retribution. But what we're seeing now is the groundwork for exactly that. I mean, the deployment of the National Guard, unprovoked by real threat, it's not just about this moment. Don't get sidetracked. It is about the next one. It's about setting precedent. It's about what happens when these tactics are deployed, not in blue state urban centers, but in red states where governors fall in line and sheriffs salute. My friends, we have coming up on the 14th, this No Kings rally. Why do you think that they are doing what they're doing? Mark my words on it. We're going to see deployment into multiple areas because Trump doesn't want us to rain on his parade. And as always, thanks for listening.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.